Welcome to episode 2 of The Fan Cave, a sports podcast from a casual's perspective. Apologies for the short episode last week. My band played a concert on Friday about 90 minutes away from home, so couldn't watch as many games last weekend. And it's going to be another short episode this weekend because I had to work last night as I record this on Monday, November 24th. So I had a shortened weekend. So I was only able to watch the Pacers versus Cavs game and part of the Purdue Texas Tech game. But before I get into those, a bit of sports news to go around. If you're new to this podcast, I cover baseball and basketball. Those are my main sports. Maybe cover some motorsports when it's season. If you're here for football, sorry, you're at the wrong sports podcast. I could never get into football. But for the news, Josh Naylor re-signs 5 years, $92.5 million for the Seattle Mariners. Puts him at $18.5 million average annual value. I think that's a great deal for them. Josh Naylor was an important piece for them down the line. He's just been a consistently good player. Surprisingly good base stealer for his speed. Good hitter. Good fielder. And also in baseball news, Shota Imanaga re-signs the qualifying offer to stay with the Chicago Cubs. As a Cubs fan, I have mixed opinions on it. I like Shota. I think he can have a comeback year. And I'm excited to see what he has coming forward. I'm excited to bring him back for another year, personally, but I've definitely heard some Cubs fans counter to that. Also in baseball news, the Women's Pro Baseball League announced that they'll be playing their season in Springfield, Illinois, which is awesome for me. That is relatively close by, so I'm hoping to make a game, at least one. But it's nice to have a location for the first season known and know that it's going to be at a neutral site from what we know as of now. The WPBL also announced that they will have a developmental league as a theater system in a couple of years. So the fact that they already have things in the work for what is essentially going to be a minor league system is awesome to hear. That should really help going forward with the having new prospects coming up and just furthering the women's professional baseball landscape. For those of you who don't know, I was able to cover the WPBL draft live with the Happy Chasers, episode 12 of the Happy Chasers podcast. Check that out. Awesome podcast. Focuses on the WPBL. In basketball news, Victor Wembanyama out for the season. Huge blow to the NBA. Huge blow to the Spurs. I was really excited to see what Vic could do in a full season, but unfortunately he's going to be out for the season without playing much. Suffered through injuries his rookie year too. I would just really like to see what a full year could get out of him, hopefully. And last in basketball news, Chris Paul announced that he's retiring at the end of the season. We all saw it coming. I'm pretty sure he'd already outright said that he was retiring at the end of the season before, but it's formally been announced now. Sad to see Chris Paul go, one of the all-time great point guards, but let's face it, he has not been doing much this season. It's probably for the best that he retire at the end of the year. He's looking pretty washed. Now on to the games that I was able to watch. Pacers versus Cavs. First note that I have here is Andrew Nembhard, just really good passer. I know that that's something that's already been known, but man, he is really good passer. Benedict Mathurin is such a good scorer, slashing to the basket, catch and shoot threes, scoring off the dribble in the mid-range, just a good three-level scorer. And he surprisingly actually got a block in this game, which I was surprised to see. Mathurin definitely not known for his defense. He is definitely a scorer first guard, which tends to be an archetype that I'm not too big of a fan of, but Mathurin's growing on me. I also forgot just how much I really love watching Darius Garland play. Darius Garland is such a fun point guard to watch. It's nice to see him back in action. Jalen Tyson had a stretch in the game where he just could not miss for the Cavs. I can't remember how hot he started off, but he started off without missing quite a few shots. Bad podcasting, but I'm going to go back to the box score here and see how he ended the night. As he ended the night 6 for 7. So I'm pretty sure he started off 6 for 6 and then missed that 1-3. He scored 14 points. Just incredible game from Jalen Tyson. Benedict Mathurin, I noticed, definitely loves complaining to the referees, which never like to see complaining to the refs that often. Obviously, a lot of superstar players do it too, looking at Embiid, LeBron James, Luka Doncic, but still not great. Evan Mobley had 4 blocks in the game, on top of his offensive production where he scored 22 points, 12 rebounds, and 4 assists, including making his only 3 of the game. Cavs picked up the win. Garland 22 and 7 in his return game. Donovan Mitchell 32, 9 and 5 with a steal. Already mentioned Mobley. Jalen Tyson 14, 8 and 3. DeAndre Hunter 27 and 1 and 2 steals, which I cannot overstate how much I've loved DeAndre Hunter's career progression from originally just being known as a defender to now being a really solid scorer while still being a pretty good defender. Lonzo Ball made a big impact even though he didn't score. 7 rebounds, 5 assists, and a block. You could definitely tell when he's on the court, the defense amps up. Dean Wade is just a really good all-around player. I'm pretty sure I said that I think I might have covered the Cavs last episode. But Dean Wade is just such a good player. Nate Tomlin surprisingly played 11 and a half minutes. Shot 1 for 4. Didn't do the best, but nice to see him getting some time. On Indiana's side, Nembhard had a great game. 32, 1 and 8 with 2 steals. Mathurin finished the night with 21. Siakam finished with 26. Ben Shepherd did really bad. He was 1 for 6, over 5 from 3. Who else made an impact in the game that I was trying to think? TJ McConnell, one of the best backup point guards in the league, continues to do his thing. Shot 4 for 6, 10, 3, and 4 with a steal. Jay Huff had 4 blocks off the bench, given he played 26 of the minutes over Isaiah Jackson's 18. But just a great game all around for the Cavs. The Cavs, like I said, ended up winning. Let me pull up the final score. It was 120 to 109, so not a particularly close game. Then on the college basketball end, I watched the number 1 versus Purdue versus number 15 Texas Tech in what was a blowout for Purdue, 86 to 56. I did not watch the entire game. My first note on the game was JT Toppin needs to stop shooting threes. He started off shooting 2 or 3 quick threes. He ended the night 0 for 3 from 3. But I want to say both, at least 2 of them, if not all 3 of them, were very early in the game. Oh, yeah, my next note, 1.5 minutes into the game, he's already 0 for 2. And then he took a really good hook shot, and that's more what I want to see from him. JT Toppin, get him close to the basket, let him play some bully ball, let him get his hook shots. And JT didn't have the greatest game in the world. He ended up finishing 6 for 13 after a really rough start. 15 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block, 2 steals. And number 11 on Texas Tech, let me look up his name real quick, Jalen Petty. Jalen Petty gets some serious lift on his jump shot. Boy jumps out the gym on his jump shot. He ended the night with 5, 3, and 4. Not shooting well, 2 for 10, 1 for 8 from 3, but just how much height he gets on his jump shot really stuck out to me. Christian Anderson, who I hope gets drafted. His draft stock, I feel, has definitely been rising. Got 13, 2, 1, and a steal. Shot 3 for 10 from 3, 5 for 15 from the field. So not his most impressive performance in the world. On the Purdue end, they just had a really balanced scoring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players finished in double-digit points. Oh, Oscar Clough finished 15 points, 15 rebounds, which is awesome to see. Braden Smith ended up getting 7 assists in the game. Just a really solid all-around scoring effort for them. And which team had the massive center that I'm thinking of? Was that Texas Tech also? Sorry, bad podcasting. I'm checking the box score. Trying to remember who was the really, really big center that I saw. Jacobson. Daniel Jacobson, who was like, what, 7 foot 4, 250 pounds from Chicago, Illinois. He's a sophomore. He ended up with 11 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 blocks. 1 for 1 from 3, 4 for 4 from the field. I want to see him be more aggressive, ideally. He's 7 foot 4. I want to see him just shoot over people, use his big body, and get to the paint more. And the last thing I'm going to cover on this episode is just kind of looking at the WPBL draft. Some notable things. A lot of great endorsements, including from Commissioner Rob Manfred, from WNBA player Angela McCoughtry. I don't know if I pronounced her name right. Soccer player Julie Foudy. Tennis star Stacey Hollister. ESPN's Ari Chambers. Just great endorsements through and through throughout the draft. And For those of you who didn't watch the draft, they were rapid fire, just pick after pick after pick, which I was not expecting it to go like that. I was expecting it to be more of a traditional draft where you get a certain allotted time to do your picks, but no, it looks like all the picks were known ahead of time and they were just going quick, especially in the later rounds when they would show all 4 picks on screen at once and then just kind of mention their names and keep going. But the first overall draft pick was Kelsey Whitmore, right-handed pitcher to the San Francisco. Kelsey Whitmore was definitely one of the favorites to go number 1. It was probably between her and Ayami Sato rather, who Sato did go number 2 to Los Angeles. Those two, 1 and 2, were pretty much said and done. New York's first pick was third baseman Kylie Lawners. And then, I don't want to mess up her name, Hyonas Kim, I'm pretty sure, catcher, was picked to Boston in round 1. So those were the first pick. There were a couple of sisters drafted, the O'Sullivan sisters. And Melissa Mayo, I think it was Mayo, was the first woman ever to be MLB draft eligible. She ended up going in this draft. Did I see where she went? She must have went in one of the later rounds because I do not have her in my notes. Once they started showing 4 picks on screen, I was cooked as far as jotting them down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I got every team's first 15 picks jotted down. But once they went from 16 to 20 for the teams, I was done. I was cooked. So notable draft picks for me, Monet Davis went to Los Angeles to join Sato, which is just great. I could see them being a very early fan favorite. New York picked a left-handed pitcher / center fielder, Claire Eckles, who is a knuckleball pitcher, so I'm really curious to see how she does. Left fielder Alexis Hastings for Boston showed such incredible energy and enthusiasm in her interview. I am really excited to see what she has. And actually, now that I think about it, I have the screenshots of the draft, so I can see where Melissa Mayo went. Again, sorry if I'm mispronouncing her name. Chicago's own Amira Hondras went 71 overall, second baseman to Los Angeles. So I'm pulling for her, rooting for Chicago's own. I'm not from Chicago, by the way. Mayo, where are you? Sorry, this is bad podcasting. I should have came more prepared for this. She went... Yeah, I'm not finding her quick enough, so I'm just going to throw in the towel on that one. But I want to close this out by saying thank you for giving this podcast a try. If you made it this far, feel free to follow. I will try to upload this every Monday. I usually record it on Sunday nights, early Monday mornings after I finish watching all the games. This one's an exception to peel back behind the curtain. It is 6:30 in the morning on Monday. I just got off of work and recording it right now. And then I'm pretty much immediately uploading it. I scheduled it to upload 9 a.m. every Monday. So thank you for watching. Leave a like if you like it. Feel free to follow for more, subscribe for more if you're watching this on YouTube, and goodbye. And once again, I almost forgot to check on the charts for the games I've watched. So let's go over that quickly. Cavaliers have been both weeks. There you see now the Pacers are on there. NCAA basketball added Purdue, Texas Tech, just 1 game each. I'm going to try to be better about remembering the charts. Those are very important, and I want to keep track of those while I go.